Am I the idiot for choosing my brother-in-law over my foster brother? I, male 20, am my parents' youngest biological child, but for a few months they have been fostering Jonathan, 11 meters. Jonathan attends a local drama club twice a week and he's performing in his first show Wednesday night. He made little invitations for me, my siblings female 33 and male 31. And our parents, and has apparently already told whoever is in charge to reserve us all seats. However, my sister's husband Trevor, male 34, just got a promotion at work and plans to take everyone to dinner to celebrate Wednesday night. I've known Trevor and his family for 9 years and really like the restaurant they're going to, so I'd prefer to attend that instead. Naturally, my sister is also planning to attend her husband's dinner over a children's play. My parents are disappointed that we're not supporting their foster son as he was so excited for us all to see him perform. My father told Jonathan that my sister and I canceled, although we never agreed to go in the first place, and he's been miserable all day. He's been using my mother's phone to call my sister and her husband to beg them to come and to cancel dinner, and my mother has been guilting me about it. She says we can all just go for dinner another time, but he'll never have another first opening night, which I suppose is true. Am I the idiot? ETA. To clarify, it is not just the three of us going to dinner, Trevor's entire family is coming. Trevor chose Wednesday because it was the night that worked best for everyone. My sister and I are the only ones who had inconveniences. Edit 2. Clearly I've come off as apathetic in my comments and I didn't mean to. Maybe it's because it was the middle of the night. I know by not attending the play I'll be letting my foster brother and mother down. I fully intended on going before the dinner came up and now regret agreeing to go to the dinner because it is at the same time and has complicated everything. I thought I could do both, but turns out the play is later than I thought. I'll be an ass to someone either way, either to my sister for abandoning her with her in-laws all night or to my mother for letting her down, and I'm stressing out. Comments before the update. You're the idiot. Dinner could happen any night. It clearly means a lot to this kid. He even made invitations for y'all. Go to his play and bring him a gift. Not the idiot. Opus's parents took on the responsibility of a foster child, which is wonderful, but should the adult siblings really have to change their lives to accommodate this change? I don't think so. Of course it's great if they really want to be a part of the kid's life, but I don't think it's really their responsibility. I'm in my 30s and if my parents took on a foster child and expected me to be involved in caring for them, I'd be pissed. I've got my own life and responsibilities. Update. After reading the comments and messages here, even the ruder ones, I just couldn't get it out of my head that I was doing the wrong thing. I knew that either way I'd be letting someone down, but, as many comments pointed out, I was trying to justify having a fancy meal I'd probably have been out of place at, knowing it would have hurt my foster brother and my parents. So, eventually I decided to bite the bullet and go to the play. I won't lie, Reddit. My lord, was it boring and cold since we were near a permanently open window. I wasn't allowed on my phone for 2 hours and there were times I wished I'd just had my steak. Most of the kids didn't seem to know what was going on half the time, but Jonathan was one of the highlights. He didn't manage to remember all his lines, but he was better than most and he wasn't the boy who fell off the stage. The community center only served cold hot dogs, and while I would have preferred a steak, service was much quicker than at any restaurant. We went to my grandmother's afterwards and my brother and I failed to cook, so we had to get takeout, much to my grandmother's dismay. Overall, it wasn't the worst experience, and my brother and I's attendance obviously mattered to my mother and Jonathan. My sister, however, is less than pleased with me for throwing her under the bus and making her the only person that didn't attend. She and my mother argued again about it last night and she is blaming me for that. My original post got a mixed response and far more messages than I'd expected. To address some comments, I was unable to reschedule or rearrange the meal. I never had a say in the date, time. I also don't have a vendetta against Jonathan because he's fostered. It is weird forming a relationship with someone you know will only be in your life temporarily, and I'll admit I'm not always the best at it, but I don't blame him for that. He's energetic and artistic and I do quite like him even if I found his play boring. I don't think my sister and brother-in-law have a vendetta either, nor do I think they chose that date to spite anyone. I do partially agree with some of the comments blaming my parents for how they handled this situation. I do wish they had waited for confirmation before telling Jonathan I'd be there, but I don't think they were trying to manipulate anyone. They just wanted Jonathan to feel supported. Although I still don't agree with my mother allowing him to harass my sister and brother-in-law on the phone. To the person who suggested flowers, my mother actually did buy him some, although they weren't Lego and Jonathan wasn't very interested in them. Thank you to everyone who was patient with me and offered advice. I'm sure Jonathan would appreciate everyone who wished him good luck and wanted to see the play. Not the idiot. Jonathan is going to remember that you and your parents came through for him way longer than you would remember the best steak dinner you will ever have. It won't solve everything going on in his life that caused him to be in foster care, but going forward he'll know that he was important enough for you to choose him over something else. That's huge. You made the right choice. Opus, good for you. Not the idiot. Sometimes doing the right thing by people isn't flashy or glamorous or, honestly, even fair. But you did the right thing. You did a very good thing, in fact. Well done, Opus. You've shown great strength of character in being willing to listen and change your behavior, and you should be very proud of that. Not many people are able to do that. Did he make the right choice by going to the show? Let me know in the comments. Am I the idiot for allowing my wife to wear expensive jewelry to dinner? For starters, I absolutely adore my wife. She's my rock and has been an infallible beacon of light for me this year. I lost my job at the beginning of the year, and when things got tough she buckled up, got a part-time job to help us stay afloat, and didn't have a single negative thing to say about it all. I finally got back on my feet again and wanted to do something nice for my wife once things settled down. She's a classic girly girl and loves to dress up, go out, etc. We really cut back this year, so when our finances felt stable, I wanted to splurge on something special for her. I bought her a diamond necklace, nothing too extravagant. We just got out of financial straits. I'm not turning around and blowing money I don't have. It's a single solitaire diamond that IMO is classy and elegant, but something she could wear on the daily. Cue to Thanksgiving dinner, and my wife wears the necklace to dinner. Her sister-in-law, her brother's wife, I'll call her Mary, notices the necklace and compliments my wife on it. My wife happily tells her how it was a surprise, and Mary agrees that it was a super sweet sentiment. Compliments me on my choice, and overall the family thought it was a nice gift, especially knowing that we went through hard times. A few days after dinner, I received a text message from the brother-in-law calling me an off for using Thanksgiving dinner to show off and make it all about me. He said that I shouldn't have let my wife wear such flashy jewelry to dinner and upstage everyone else, and that it was super selfish and conceited of us. I was stunned, to be honest, because the necklace discussion only lasted several minutes, maybe 5 minutes 10, and the rest of the family only had nice things to say about it. They seemed genuinely happy for me and my wife. I'm starting to feel like an awe because it's true that the family isn't incredibly well off, and something like my wife's necklace would be seen as something very luxurious. My brother-in-law says that I'm now putting pressure on him to get his wife something extravagant for Christmas. On the other hand though, I don't feel like it's really my responsibility to care about how brother-in-law feels about a gift I got for my wife, and that if he feels pressure it's not on me. I don't know, was I the idiot for talking about the gift during dinner? Comments before the update. Or the idiot. How could you not have foresight and buy a diamond necklace for everyone that may see your wife's, like it, and not be able to afford it themselves? If you buy nice jewelry, the rule of thumb is to buy at least 15 more to carry in your pockets in case someone else thinks it's nice and can't afford it. Why do you think rappers walk around with so many watches on? Not the idiot. A lovely gift got lovely compliments at a recent gathering. You didn't roll into dinner with a big sign saying, "Hey, look at my wife's neck." Odds are brother-in-law's wife has been after him before about giving crappy gifts, and her compliments about your wife's necklace were really aimed at him. Now he's mad because he'll actually have to get her something decent this Christmas. Update. Thank you to everyone for giving me the confidence to move forward with the situation. There were a few questions in my last post regarding how my wife, brother-in-law, and sister-in-law were involved in the situation that I wanted to shed some light on. Unfortunately, the outcome isn't the best. The first thing I want to clear up is that brother-in-law is, in fact, my wife's brother. Secondly, the allow comment regarding my wife's choice in dress was from my brother-in-law. I have no interest or power in dictating what my wife chooses to wear regardless of the occasion. Thirdly, while I won't reveal the cost of the necklace, I can assure everyone that it was in a reasonable price range that definitely wouldn't turn any heads if worn out running errands, but was still special enough to my wife and myself. I initially wanted to keep the text messages from my wife in fear that it would sour the sentiment behind the necklace, but we're not the type to keep secrets from each other. When she read the text, she was 553. I've never seen her so upset, especially at family. She immediately called her brother and just reamed him out for his insensitivity. We were on the phone together, but I didn't really pipe up once they started arguing since I felt like they should work it out as siblings. They got in a long argument and her brother said he was worried that she was going down a slippery slope of becoming a superficial bitch, and that we shouldn't force our financial success on other people. That comment honestly shocked the both of us, because while they weren't close growing up, he's never talked to her like that before. At that point, my wife told her brother that if he wasn't going to be happy for her, that she had one thoughtful treat from her husband after a really shitty year, then she had nothing to say to him. A few hours later, my wife did get a text from sister-in-law. Apparently she also heard the conversation and was mortified. She at least reassured us that she was happy for our success after working so hard and that she'd try to talk some sense into her husband, brother-in-law. Regardless, my wife and I decided to spend Christmas without brother-in-law and his wife. We'll be doing it separately on Christmas Eve with her parents. At this point, there's just too much tension, and I didn't want to risk brother-in-law ruining Christmas because I wouldn't put it past him to find the gifts we get her family too luxurious and pitching a fit in response. Her parents are staying out of the situation for the time being but okay with meeting us separately, and I respect their decision. And this might make me an idiot, but I'm going to take some advice from a few commenters and get my wife a nice matching bracelet for Christmas. Edit. I didn't include this before because my brother-in-law didn't concretely admit to anything, but my wife speculates that her brother's behavior is due to a competitive nature. She said that he's always loved winning, even as a child. During my rough patch he started coming around to help out, but now I'm starting to feel like it just gave him some sort of twisted satisfaction to see me failing. Not the idiot. Must be a shock to your wife and yourself to find out how insecure and bitter your brother-in-law is that he tells you off for being able to gift your wife with such a thoughtful token. And playing off his nasty text messages is concern about materialism and showing off. The brother-in-law has issues, and you don't need that negative idiot putting a damper on your Christmas celebrations. Might bring bad juju for the new year, too. Enjoy the holidays and we're sure that your wife will appreciate the bracelet. Not the idiot. I mean, this is obviously your brother-in-law's intense insecurity getting to him. He feels like he's not successful or loving enough in comparison. That still isn't a you problem, but I'd be aware of this cropping up in the future. How should Opus handle his brother-in-law? Let me know in the comments. Am I the idiot for not wanting to go to a theme park with my brother since he's in a wheelchair? My female 19, little brother, male 10, broke his ankle literally this week on Monday, so he's bound to the couch or a wheelchair right now since he has to keep his foot up. I live with my parents, male 49 and female 45, and we all had planned a family trip to a theme park 2 hours away this Monday, which would be a week after the break. My brother had been talking about it for weeks. It would be the first time he would get to ride a particular roller coaster since he was too scared before, but now he was brave enough. He was so excited. But then, he broke his ankle. My parents, however, are determined to still go on this trip on Monday because our tickets could not be postponed. Also, they say they really want to go. My brother would have to find a way to sit in a car for 2 hours on the way there and back, while keeping his leg high, being safe and being comfortable. Hard, but maybe not impossible. The problem, however, arises at the theme park itself. It's lovely, however. My brother can go on exactly 5 rides, which includes an animatronic show and a 4D movie. The other rides are not wheelchair accessible, and he can't walk right now. Of these 5 rides, he'll enjoy about 3. I think it's extremely sad to put this boy near all the coasters he's been excited about for months now, and confront him with all he cannot do. I told my parents this, and they went batshit on me. I was egotistical and mean, and I just didn't want to go because I didn't love them or him, etc., which is not true. I just don't want to go with him right now. We should go later. My parents had already stated that we would go again when he was better, just also now. I still don't like that idea. I even came with a list of fun activities that were wheelchair accessible, but they said that no, they really wanted to go to the theme park. When I brought the bad news about the coasters to my little brother, while trying to be as sensitive as I could, he started crying and said that it wasn't me. He was just sad that he would miss out yet again, which shocked me because it was so mature, but also cute and sad. My mom got mad, saying I was going to ruin the day for them before it even started, and got mad at my brother for crying because there were other fun things. He got tantrum why and said but not the coasters, but after some of my mom's convincing he said, still crying, okay mom, I'll still go for you, stop being mad because I've said I quote I'll go, rough translation, which broke my heart. I just don't think it's a good idea, and we are better off postponing the trip rather than confronting this 10-year-old with all the things he wants to but cannot do. Also, my brother has been very sick because of the pain and the loss of sleep, so he has been vomiting and crying a lot, and being 2 hours away from home is quite a lot if you're all of a sudden nauseating. My boyfriend's family side with me, but I feel like I'm going crazy. So am I the idiot? Comments before the update. Not the idiot. I came here thinking you'd be the idiot for being ashamed of having to be seen with your brother using a wheelchair. Instead, you're being a super duper sister who is totally not the idiot sticking up for your brother because the trip isn't going to work for him because he won't be able to do much. While it's good for him to get out and about even with a broken ankle, a theme park is a daft choice. Not the idiot. First, you should absolutely double check about postponing the tickets. If they have so few activities that are wheelchair accessible, then it's only fair that they allow you to use the ticket when you can make full use of the facilities. But you brought up valid, thoughtful points to your parents. If the point of the trip is for the family to enjoy it, then postponing it for another time is the smart decision. Even if your brother was able to do everything he wanted to, it seems unlikely that he will enjoy the trip overall given his current pain and exhaustion. Update. I called the theme park and explained the situation. They said they would postpone the tickets for us and wished my brother a quick recovery. So fast forward to now. His ankle is out of the cast and he gets to do a lot of things again. Not running, but 2 more weeks and he can do that too. We went to the theme park yesterday and he went on all the coasters, even the ones he's been fearing for years. He'd talk about it the entire day yesterday, and he said he was glad he could ride the coasters for the first time with his big sis. Even today he was still going on about it. I'm glad to see that he had a good time. So that's fun. Everyone had a blast. It's not the longest update, but at least it ended well. Although I never did get an apology for what my parents called me, even after I saved their tickets and their day with a cranky, disappointed child in a wheelchair. But oh well, that's my parents for ya. Thanks for the help on the previous post, guys. Not the idiot. Sounds like he's lucky to have a big sister who cares so much. Nice work with the misdirection in the title. That's half the fun of this page.